Hi, I'm Danya,
And I'm Shaheen.
and you're listening to or watching
Reality Woo Woo.
It's Not Something to Believe in.
It's something to talk about.
And on today's episode, I'm so excited. We have Cassie on the podcast. Hi, Cassie.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Cassie is a social media manager and strategist, and today we're having some fun, you guys. We're going to talk about Barbie, all things Barbie, Barbieheimer, the astrology of Barbie, it's taken over all our feeds, right?
Mm-hmm. I love that we're wearing pink too.
Yeah, we're
We got
all.
so
I'm not
festive.
wearing pink. What the hell is my problem?
I
only own one pink shirt.
Same, and I didn't even buy this. My mom bought it for me. This whole outfit. This is a preview of my Eras Tour outfit. I'm going in full lover nostalgia look, but
I love it.
yeah.
I also don't have it. This is my only pink shirt. It's a pink Jeep Tour shirt.
Oh, I
which
thought it was
love.
Jurassic Park.
Wow.
No, it's great. It's like pink Jeep tours in Arizona. You can go there and you can go in like a pink Jeep, and they go like almost vertically up these rocks. It's wild.
Wow. So they're the OG Barbie marketing ploy. They
guess,
were like
yeah. I
pink
mean,
Jeep
Barbie
Jeeps in
should
the
be.
desert.
Barbie absolutely should be
Well-
partnered with this brand.
I love that.
I'm pissed that I forgot pink, but also on the note of like our feeds are all Barbie stuff. That's what's interesting about social media is because of the algorithm, our feeds all look so different. So like I showed my boyfriend my feed the other day, Barbie, Barbie,
Yeah.
Barbie, 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 Barbie. His is like I don't even know what's on there. His is like workout stuff, gym bro. Like he had no idea that Barbie was so big because he lives in a different world on the internet. So
Yeah.
he was like,
100%.
I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, no. It's taking over the planet. Let me show you.
I'm a huge
Shaheen,
fan
does-
of having multiple accounts.
Does Brian know because I had to
About
explain
Barbie?
Barbieheimer to Jeremiah as well.
I don't
I had
know.
to
I
be like,
haven't
this is what's
asked.
going on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't asked my boyfriend. I don't know if he has or not, but yeah, my feed is full of I don't know Barbie things because I follow a lot of gay accounts and I
And
only
Nicki
found out
Minaj.
about
You've been in this
and
Barbie little
Nicki
world
Minaj,
for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah, like I knew the Barbie movie was coming out for a while because Nicki was dropping hints at a new song. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say those two coincide.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you are a Barb. So you are in the Barbie world.
I guess I am. I guess I am. Thank you.
Yeah.
honored.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so I think it's fun to kind of start with like our own experiences with Barbie and like kind of as our
love that.
signs.
I
And
love that opening.
I mean, I think everyone knows I'm a Virgo, Shaheen, you're a Taurus, and then Cassie,
Mm-hmm.
you're a Sag. So it's nice to have a
Ooh.
little
Yeah.
fire energy on the pod. We love
Throwing
that.
a wild
Yeah.
card.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. So what are kind of your earliest memories playing with Barbie dolls? Like how, do you remember like one that you really wanted or like what was kind of your journey with Barbie as a kid?
Well, I was the only grandchild until I was like 10. And so, like Christmas and birthdays were a riot. Like I got all the attention, all the presents, only kid. So I had a blast. And I remember one year for Christmas, I got a Barbie. I don't know if it was like the dream house. I don't know what like constitutes the
Some
dream
type
house,
of
but
house.
I got a Barbie house. What'd you
Some
say?
type of house, yeah. I don't know which
Yeah, I got
brand.
some
Is
type
it
of
a
Barbie
dream house or
house.
is
Cassie,
it
did
a
it have
Arizona tour house?
because I have a similar. I was
Yeah.
also the only grandchild for a long time, and it was my eighth. I'm really good with time too. I like eighth Christmas was the big Barbie Christmas, and I got the house. Did yours have mine had a fucking electric elevator. You could yeah, dude. You could
What?
stand a Barbie in it. It had this weird little stand that you could put her legs in, and it would go up to the second floor. She was bougie. My Barbies were
I was
bougie.
wondering how many floors
Okay.
these houses were if it was just one, but
Well, you don't
okay.
have to one-up me, Danya,
Yeah,
but
no, I can just see you
okay.
two as little girls like hating each other but wanting to play with each other's toys. I had an experience like this with a Batman car, but not that episode.
Oh my god.
An elevator.
Wait, I could actually see that. I feel like we would have been like besties and also sometimes secretly despised each other.
I had a lot of those growing up for sure.
Danya's house has an elevator.
Why don't I have an elevator? I had a motorhome and a red. Okay, this was really cute.
You had a
My mom-
neighborhood.
I did. My mom had a red Mustang convertible, and Barbie did a partnership with Ford, and so I had a miniature version of my mom's fucking car growing up. It
Oh,
was
that's
yeah,
adorable.
it was cool.
No. You know she got that for you because she was like secretly in love
A
with it
hundred
Yeah.
herself.
She
percent.
was like, that's my car.
That's my
My
car,
daughter
and
needs
she
the
has
small
it.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wait, okay, so I had none of that. I know that I had a Barbie car and I know I had stairs, but we all
Stairs.
know, and according to the movie, like Barbie doesn't actually use the stairs, so that's
I haven't seen the
useless.
movie yet, but that's fun. I
It's
want to
coming.
see
It's
that.
out.
So in the
Oh.
trailer, she floats down. Like she
Oh,
doesn't take
okay.
the
Yeah.
stairs, she just like floats down to the next
Obsessed.
floor.
I love that.
Did you have like
Yeah.
okay, did you have a specific Barbie that you like gravitated towards? Like was there like, cuz there's like teacher Barbie and doctor Barbie and like all the different types of Barbie?
Yeah, I think I was either like the teacher Barbie or just like, oh, why was like the blonde Barbie just like better somehow? Like maybe this is a different conversation of like messaging, but I feel like I had like the brunette Barbie and I am brunette, but I always went for just like the classic blonde
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barbie. I was like, she's
Yeah.
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. It's like I had a Barbie. This is like I got her for Easter, and she had like a ridiculous like kind of retro outfit. And so this Barbie, her whole thing was she could walk. And again, it was like this thing that you put on her back,
Oh,
and you like it was like a little hook, and her legs would move, and you could like walk. It was weird. She had total
I
like
think I
go-go
remember
boots.
seeing like
It
a
was
what?
nuts. Yeah.
commercial or something like that.
And then I had a full my favorite Barbie though, and I think this is telling of my personality. She had like a little store. She had her own little boutique, and she had a really high ponytail, classic blonde Barbie, and she just looked more modern.
Yeah.
Oh, I also had Skipper, or no, okay, it was brunette Barbie. Now I remember this. So it was not Skipper, but like Skipper's.
Is
It
it
wasn't
Teresa?
Teresa. Teresa's like Barbie's age. No, this was like a brunette who was like Skipper's age. Her name was Courtney. And she had a cell phone, a green cell
Oh,
phone
I
that you
remember
also
that.
had like a life-size version of.
Wow.
And then the doll had one too. So
Huh.
those are I think my
Courtney.
favorites that like stood out.
You just reminded me of another Barbie.
Oh,
I
wow.
before this conversation, I had two Barbies that I remember as a kid. Being a queer adult makes me like, I don't know, I'm unpacking some like deep
Yeah,
trauma
did
and
you
shame.
I was gonna ask Shaheen, like you got to play with Barbies, right? Your parents were
Yeah,
cool with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my first experience with Barbie that I remember was being maybe like 4 or 5, and it was at Christmas, and I got a Jasmine doll, and one of my cousins, he asked me. He was an older cousin. He was like 10 or 12 years older than me, and he asked me as a kid. He was like, "So you got Jasmine for Christmas? Why didn't you get Aladdin?" And in that moment, I remember going, "Oh, this is not okay to get a girl doll. Like this is the rules that society
You
puts on
didn't
me." And I
know.
remember being like, I don't know. I want an
She's
Aladdin
so
doll
pretty.
too.
I just like
I
her.
like tried to cover it up. Like I don't know. I just got this one. So that was my first experience, and I
Yeah.
remember playing with it and still enjoying it. But I don't not really. That's more of the experience of it. The next one that I remember, which you just reminded me of, was I got a Barbie that was like a hair cutting Barbie. Like she came with really long hair, and you were
Yeah.
supposed to cut it and add extensions, which I just remember cutting it like right to the neck and being like, this looks like shit. I cut it really short right away, and then the extension didn't really work, and it just looks like a big Andy Warhol like cut. It looks like
It was for
mad
you to be
scientist.
artistic with.
Yeah. I remember
But
regretting
not
it.
a
And then,
hairdresser. Your parents were
yeah.
helping you rule that out. You
Yeah.
weren't going to be a
Yeah.
hairdresser.
And then my last
Yeah,
Barbie
there
that I
you
remember
go.
was actually my last Barbie. And I think that's why I remember it, because I was at Walmart and we weren't going to get a Barbie. I don't remember actually how old I was, maybe like 10 or like 8, between 8 and 10. And or maybe younger. I don't know. But I was leaving Walmart and I saw this pink what's her name? Power Ranger Barbie. And I was like, Dad, can I get that one? And he was like, okay, but this is the last Barbie that you get. And I was like, okay. And I don't remember him or my parents ever shaming me out of not getting them. Like they bought them for me, but they like, there was still this knowing that as
There was
a
a
boy,
hesitancy.
this isn't the same as G.I. Joe. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm different. There's something different here.
Yeah. I like that though. You
Right.
did
Yeah.
still get to have that. My biggest,
did.
I mean, it sounds like I got everything that I would know. Like I'll fall on the stone. I never got the power. You know, remember the like life size Barbie cars that you could sit in as a kid? Do you remember this? Is very
Oh,
90s.
yeah.
I
I never got
Yes.
never
one
I
of
never
those.
had
Yeah.
one of those,
Yeah.
and it still pains me.
No.
Yeah, I didn't either, but our neighbor that was like
Hmm.
two houses down, they were grandparents and their grandkids, they bought one for their grandkids when they would come to visit. And every once in a while, like once a year, we could somehow convince them to let us take the car out for a spin. I don't think it was Barbie though.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it was like a Jeep. So
Yeah,
Shaheen and I
no,
would have had a
I yearned
blast.
for one of those cars. This is off topic, but I remember being like 11 or 12, and one time my dad and I drove past this like dumpster where we saw one of these types of cars in the dumpster, and I remember going, "Dad, I want one of those cars, please." And we picked it out, and I played with it for like a week, and I was too big for it.
Oh my
But like that
gosh.
kind of got a little bit of that itch out of me.
Yeah,
I
you were
still
able
wish I could
to.
go in those cars.
I know, right? Like if there was a life size one, which we'll come to it, all of the Barbie marketing. I think, you know, if Jeep today decided to release a limited edition Barbie Jeep Wrangler, I think I would buy it. So we all have our very own our own like personal anecdotal experiences with Barbie, but there's some iconic characters involved. I don't know if you guys have been seeing the reviews, but apparently like Ryan Gosling's gonna get like an Oscar for playing Ken of all
What?
roles.
He's
Yeah.
he's nominated for things?
No, not yet, but like people are
But people are obsessed
people
with
are
it.
saying this is like the role he was born to play.
That's
Ryan
wild.
Gosling. I guess that makes sense, right? I'm like one of few people in the world who's like just so unimpressed. I'm actively unimpressed by him. I'm like, he just doesn't do enough ever. But I guess playing a plastic doll works for him.
Oh, tell us how you really feel, Shaheen.
Yeah.
That's how I really feel. I'm gonna be the hater about this. I don't hate him. I just like feel like he doesn't do anything in movies, which I'm jealous of. If I could do that, I would do that. And you guys both nodded like, I guess
But
he doesn't do much.
he brings like a realism to doing nothing, which is I think
I
what the
guess.
character of Ken plays or
Yeah.
needs. You know what I mean?
Honestly, this
Yeah.
is probably perfect for him.
Yeah, I
That like vapid
genuinely believe.
emptiness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe this is the same conversation the casting directors were like, yeah, we need
were
someone
like, who
vapid and
can
empty
be-
and
Not steal the focus from Barbie, but like be there, you know?
yeah.
Ryan Gosling. It's the right
Someone
fit.
who everyone loves but doesn't
Wow.
have to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we had our, you know, our assistant as always, ChatGPT. We put in just like some classic Barbie characters, and their like perceived personalities to get, you know, what we think their astrology could potentially be. But we'll start with Barbie herself. So I'm going to describe Barbie and then we'll just kind of chit chat about it and I'll let you know like what ChatGPT guessed as her zodiac sign. But given Barbie's versatile and ambitious nature, Barbie is seen as confident and creative and charismatic, and has a strong and outgoing personality. So we're talking big. We're talking kind of like a big personality, and that does seem. I don't know. What do you guys think? Barbie does seem to be like she can kind of do it all, right? Like she's the center of the universe a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. She's the center of the universe, but not in like a tension grabby way. She kind of just seems like
Like she was born
I don't
for
know
it.
that. Yeah, she was just born for it. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. My instinct wanted me to go towards Gemini because like she can be everyone or anything.
Yeah.
But as you were describing her saying like ambitious and you said other words that made me think like maybe she could be a Sagittarius or something. She's very charming and like gets
Interesting.
people like
I'll
her
take that
and
as a
she builds
compliment.
That is.
yeah, also you can take that one, yeah. Points for all Sag. And also she creates this entire world and that's what
Yeah.
like that's what Sagittarians do. They create a world that they believe in and they allow other people to jump into their world.
Yeah. I actually really and Cassie, we talk about this quite a bit with Sagittarius specifically. so Walt Disney is a Sagittarius, Jay-Z is a Sagittarius, obviously Taylor Swift, Britney Spears. They're these like
George Lucas.
George Lucas. They're like these world builders, you know what I mean? Instead of like being okay with the way that the world is, they're like, no, we're going to make a better one. One that's a little bit more fun to be inside of. And I like that. I actually
I love that.
Yeah. I like Barbie as the world builder. Yeah. Rather than just
Barbie is like as a brand, it's Sagittarius. It's like everyone loves her.
Yeah. And it always just seems to like, even though, right, we can get into the like modern, I guess, critiques of Barbie of like, she's not feminist and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Like we all kind of just let it slide. We're like, yeah, that's pretty great, you know?
She's got Jupiter on her side, clearly.
Yeah, she's lucky. Yeah, like a Sag. Okay, you've totally
You can't be mad at her for having the best body.
Right. And she's just so good at everything. We can't be mad.
I feel like I resonate with, because honestly, I don't know a lot about being a Sagittarius, and like I usually don't connect with Sagittarius like memes and things, but when people that know me hear I'm a Sag, they're like, oh my God, of course that makes sense. But I resonate with the wanting to like be not like a disruptor, but wanting to be like, okay, but this could be better, or like I'm gonna like create this own. Because I feel like that's how I am in every scenario, which is like exhausting but also fun.
I love hearing people.
Sages are tired. They can be very tired because you're doing a lot. You are doing a lot. I do think that. Yeah.
I love hearing the way that people describe their own signs, because I'm a Taurus. I would say that Sagittariuses are careless, but you as a Sagittarius might say that they're carefree. And you just describing the way that you are. I liked how you said you're not a challenger or like a disruptor, but you like to just say that things could be better. Yeah. I like that. I'm going to keep that with me.
Things could be better. We're not disrupting, but things could be better. No, I love that. So I'll give you guys, so ChatGPT thought that Barbie was a Leo, and when I read that I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like they're like the sun, and then kind of, you know, they think they're royalty. It's a whole thing, the hair. But you've completely sold me. I think Barbie is a Sag. She's a lucky bitch. She lives in a dream house. She lives
in a dream house. Yeah.
I love that.
Wait, I love that. I'm like I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna like use it to empower myself.
As you should.
You are. I know.
You're
that just really worked out.
Barbie.
You could have been any sign. Good thing you're a Sagittarius.
Okay. The next character from the Barbie universe that we're looking at is Skipper. So just to refresh, Skipper is Barbie's younger sister, and she has a desire for adventure. And she is seen as curious, independent, and seeking new experiences. So,
quickly to clarify, is Skipper, you said Courtney, and is Courtney and Skipper both sisters, or is Courtney just a whole other girl?
Courtney is just like, okay, so let me like build this out for you. So there's Barbie, and then Skipper is Barbie's younger sister. And then Courtney is like a person that was in the realm. She was like like a brunette teenager. So I'm assuming she was just like Skipper's friend. She's not like a popular character. So we don't like really need to dive into her too much. But she was just like in the world. And
in
then
my head,
Cassie
I imagine
mentioned
Courtney being a blonde. I just mixed them up.
No, she's a brunette. And then Teresa, who we will talk about, is like one of Barbie's best friends. And she's the brunette Barbie, basically. She's just, And that's, and then Ken,
Teresa.
obviously.
I like that, like kind of ambiguously ethnic name.
Yeah,
too.
they gave her, and I didn't know, because I thought Teresa was like more modern, but I actually like looked a little bit more into, Teresa was introduced in the 1960s. Like she was kind of like, she's been around for a while. But yeah, to your point, when they probably released Teresa, she wasn't Latina. She was like Italian but that was exotic. Sure. You know what I mean? They were
think of
diversity.
Mad Men era conversations, like make her look European.
Yeah, make her look like Mediterranean. That was the directive for Teresa, which I love. So yeah, we'll just talk about Skipper, Teresa, and Ken as kind of the. But there's a ton of people in the universe that just are like less prominent. There's other Ken. There's like other boy dolls that I don't know the names of, but you know.
Same, I have no idea.
what about Skipper again?
So we're
was
just
she
guessing.
like?
So
Did she
she's her
have?
little sister, and I described her, or ChatGPT's like little log line on her is that, you know, she's like fun and kind of adventure seeking. I always just saw her as like, I never wanted I had a Skipper, but I didn't want one. Like she was like Barbie's like little sister
Extra
who was
weight.
just tagging along.
Baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a Skipper, Cassie?
I honestly can't remember. I know that I must have, because I
Yeah.
know that I had like middle, like I know I had younger Barbies.
Yeah,
I
younger
definitely
ones.
had like Barbie children.
Yeah, little kids, like little top. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
definitely. I mean, the way that they describe her, they're saying she's a Sag. That's what ChatGPT is guessing about Skipper. But I would kind of, if I was just gonna say, I think Skipper's like a Cancer, maybe, or yeah, maybe a Cancer,
Look up
or
pictures of Skipper.
could be like maybe like a. I'm just going towards
She's
Cancer.
more homey. She's more
Why a
homey and
Cancer?
more like wholesome. So
So Cancer for me, it's like very domestic usually, and so because
domestic.
yeah, it's domestic, and it's like
a
your
good word.
family ties, and because they're sisters, it makes me feel like, oh, this is her. It's just like a family tie with it's hard to describe, but Cancer rules like your realm of family, and so when I think of her, and
It's a very
being,
maternal sign too.
yeah, being the younger sister, she's probably like a little whiny. She can be a little manipulative maybe of her older sisters, and like, please Barbie, like bring me along. There's like that kind of but maybe she makes Barbie softer in her relationship with Barbie. I don't know. These are all just like, I'm just making all of that up.
Yeah, I mean that's all we do.
That's
here.
all we do
But
here. So
with Skipper, I
blast.
looked up Skipper doll, and most of the pictures are her holding a baby, which I think is really interesting because she's the
like a teenage
youngest.
babysitter.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not really trying to get a job, but I guess that's the job. She's not like in a career. She's a teenager.
Nurturing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and she
yeah.
also
Okay,
there's a
she's
picture of her with
Cancer.
a dog and like surfing, which is water signy.
Yeah,
I like
we're-
to pull at those strings.
I like it. We're settling.
Yeah.
Skipper's
Yeah.
a Cancer.
I could agree
Yeah.
with that.
Okay, let's
Domestic.
So Ken,
That word is gonna stick with me.
what?
The word domestic is gonna stick with me.
Domestic. Yeah, that's what it is. So Ken's persona is as Barbie's supportive and caring boyfriend, and he's known for his diplomatic nature, charm, and emphasis on maintaining a harmonious, like basically his only worth is being in this couple with Barbie is how he's described. I mean, it's very obvious to me like what the guess is, and I mean, Ken's the male Libra. It's it's
Absolutely.
obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Wait,
just-
why do you guys both agree so quickly on that?
It's
so
just
Libras,
what he is.
Libras are ruled by
No
Venus,
discussion.
you know, like the goddess of love and beauty. And so Libras are literally in society, they are the people who I said this to Shaheen Nina. Nina used to work with Shaheen and I said this to her in one of our coaching sessions, is like, there have to be people in the world who are concerned with beauty, or the world wouldn't be beautiful. And that's what Libras are. Like they concern themselves with the aesthetics of the world. And so, and they're also like, it rules love, like love relationships. And Ken's role is basically to be a good boyfriend to Barbie. Like that's his role. We don't really know about his own ambitions.
Yeah.
And even from the movie, it's like, he doesn't really have them. It's like, it's about him being a
It's just
supportive.
like he's just Ken.
He's just like hot
He's
and
social
there.
and popular
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
fashionable
likable.
and
Yeah,
This is
he
funny,
cares
I
about
actually-
his spray tan.
Yes.
I feel like he must be indecisive too.
Yeah.
as a point for being a Libra. Libras can sometimes not be good at making firm choices. And I could see as a couple, Barbie's like, we're gonna go here this weekend. And Ken's like, sure, babe, whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he
I could
doesn't
see
want
that.
to make the choice. Yeah. He's definitely, that's an easy one. Slam dunk. Ken's Libra. Okay. Let's just wrap up on Teresa before we move into all the marketing mayhem around the movie. So Teresa is described as athletic and artistic, and energetic, confident, and passionate about their pursuits. And so I could see that as like I could see Teresa being a Pisces from that description, like pretty artistic and
Artistic,
independent thinker, but we also describe Pisces as being very reflective of others. So if Teresa's kind of carving her own path, that might not be kind of the best fit.
I wanted to say Taurus because some of the
Okay.
words, but like not very energetic are kind.
Not very
Confident
energetic.
and
You're kind. You're kind
oh
of
yeah,
kind.
no, we're kind. I mean, like our kind of people are
Yeah,
not very
oh.
energetic.
Our kind of people.
Yeah, the Taurus kind.
So ChatGPT thinks Teresa's an Aries, and I like
Oh.
that. I could be okay with Teresa being an Aries because she is like, you know, just kind of doing her own thing. She's like Barbie, but she had
Yeah.
her own stuff, I guess, going on, and so I'm good with Teresa being an Aries, just kind of
Yeah.
forging independent, forging
I vibe
her
with
own
that.
path.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into like all of the the marketing pieces. So there's I don't know, do you know, Cassie, how many? There's like over like 30 brand partnerships with this movie. There's just like so many.
I don't know exactly how many, but I feel like I could launch a whole course on Barbie marketing because I'm eating it up. Like
Yeah.
I really just think like whoever is in charge of the marketing, I would love to know who it is. I'm sure it's a team of like 97 trillion people, but
Yeah.
um like no movie according to me has ever been marketed like this. This has like
Yeah.
never been done before.
It reminds me a little bit of the Lego movie, but I didn't get much preface for the Lego movies because when you saw the Lego movie, there was a lot of build up to it, I think, with marketing and stuff, but then you saw it and then you were in the world. But with Barbie, I hardly see like any of the actual footage of the movie, but I'm so invested and immersed in the world already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I fully agree with that.
One, I think that was intentional. Can I be
Yeah.
honest with that? Is that so the movie they're saying is, I mean, it's directed by Greta Gerwig, so it's got a feminist slant to it. It's not like
Yeah.
straight up, which Barbie, to allow them to make that, because Barbie and Mattel are a pretty conservative company in and of itself.
Right.
Like there had to be a tension there. So I actually think the marketing is on purpose. They didn't give a lot about what the plot of the movie was or what it
Yeah.
was really
Yeah.
about. And it was really just like, remember Barbie? Remember you love Barbie? Like that's a
Yeah,
little bit
that's
of
all
what
I
the
remember in
marketing
the
has
movie.
been, to be like,
Commercials.
you love
Right.
Barbie. So
Uh-huh.
you're going to go watch this movie because you love Barbie. Like that's kind of
Right.
been what it's been, which I like. I think that's definitely
Right.
worked for me.
Have either of you guys seen the documentary about it? About the creation of Barbie and their rebrand?
No.
And
No.
it's a really good movie. They talk about like the history of Barbie and then the rebrand that happened in the 21st century, where they discussed a lot of the problems that Barbie had over the years with her body shaming and
Yeah.
stuff like that. People kind of attribute to Barbie in
Yeah.
a lot of different ways.
I mean,
but
it's
then
Disney
they,
too.
yeah,
It's not just
But-
Barbie's fault.
Yeah.
right. No, it's
It's-
a lot of people's like
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
But
Barbie
um,
was a creation from like, you got to go back to the creation of things, right? Too, is like
Right.
a human being created Barbie.
Right.
Right.
And so
A
where
woman
did that
invented
human being
Barbie.
get those ideas?
Right.
You know what I
She
mean?
got
We
the
love
idea
to,
because
yeah, I feel like, oh, sorry,
go
I'm
ahead.
talking over you. I was just gonna say, like, we love to point the finger at like specific things, like social media is the problem, Meta's the problem,
Yeah.
Barbie's the problem, whatever, and
Right.
like it all comes back to us.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the way that
All goes back to
we
people.
are with our things. You know, we gave little girls this toy that allowed them to envision themselves being in new jobs, big jobs, nurse jobs. But then
it
there
helps
was
you
criticism.
self-actualize yourself.
Right. And then we look back on the past and we're like, why didn't you ever invent Barbie as a doctor in the 60s? And the creator was like, because there were no female doctors back then. We were
Yeah.
giving girls ambitions and the opportunity to see what we saw.
Yeah.
But then they talk about like the documentary, highly recommended. They talk about the shape of her body and changing her shape for like all different shapes and sizes. There's like 3 types of Barbies now.
Yeah.
They come in different like
Yeah. And body
thicknesses.
types. Yeah, they do. The thickness of Barbie.
Thicknesses. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
they
like
do.
shape. It's more like weight. I don't know exactly. I'm not a representative.
You don't work for Mattel? Are you a
No.
plant on this podcast? Have we been building to this where you tell me you're a plant from Mattel?
I will accept promo payments though.
So I pulled just some of the market, because there's so many, but I pulled the ones that I think have been reported on maybe the most, or just kind of the most obvious ones for us to kind of chat about. So just the virility of the campaign in general. So it started with the like, what kind of Barbie am I? Like that was kind of the generator, which came out in like March, maybe April, like that
Yeah,
kind of
like
took
almost a
over.
year ago.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Oh
Yeah.
wait,
So
am I? No, just kidding. I'm making that up. You're right. It was like early spring.
yeah, it was like, so, it was just basically putting your face on the background of like the Barbie box with the like little starburst, the branding look. And everybody would like, this Barbie is this or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it was that kind of moment.
Yeah.
But then that quickly moved into the Barbieheimer memes. And so that just in general of like, there's a lot of like Wednesday and her roommate being like Barbie versus Oppenheimer movies, just like this comparison. And I don't know, for me, I really like seeing all of these memes because what it does for me, and I think about this too with like Disney princess versus the girls who like Disney villains. It's like these are just archetypes and they both live inside of us, and so it's fun to like relate to both sides of yourself within this.
Yeah. I think it's interesting too, because I didn't even know Oppenheimer was coming out or a movie on the list until I saw the memes comparing it to Barbie. And I was like, what is this? And it made me spark interest in both.
Because you're not in Christopher Nolan's world. That's not your algorithm.
No, not really. No.
Yeah.
Right. Mine neither. I honestly didn't really know until I think I saw, oh, it was a group friend chat. So I'm going Friday night to see Barbie,
Nice,
and
same.
somebody sent a meme being like, here's the schedule, like 12:45, Oppenheimer, 1, like shots of tequila, 2 p.m., this. Then it was like 7 o'clock, Barbie. So it's like we're doing this all in one day. And I was like, what's Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
So,
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I know Oppenheimer because I go to the movies a lot, and they've been that is the trailer. I have seen the Oppenheimer trailer. We saw Mission Impossible on Saturday, and the Oppenheimer trailer, they've updated it because it's like coming in 5 days. Like they're really like telling you, that it's coming. But yeah, I feel like if we were to assign a zodiac sign to that phenomenon, to the Barbieheimer memes, it's Gemini, because it's the twins. It's the sign of the twins.
It's both sides of the coin.
It's communication, because this is like overtaken social media, right? It's like now a shorthand for a way that we communicate like this duality within us, basically. And so it's like that is what this marketing activation is to me. It's given Gemini,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And then so I don't know if you guys have, but next on our list is the soundtrack. So I haven't spent that much time with the soundtrack, but they really they went for it, because these are the songs. I mean, there's a ton on there, but these are the ones that I've kind of called out are What Was I Made For? Like, so they've got Billie Eilish. They're zeroing on the Gen Z kids. They've got Speed Drive by Charlie XCX. Like Charlie XCX is like, I've only seen her at like Pride events in Los Angeles. Like I feel like they're very much speaking to like the gay audience, but like fun, and then Dance the Night by Dua Lipa. Like Dua Lipa is like the queen of like this disco like reemergence that has come around. So just that like fun, bubbly, like sparkly kind of Barbie. And then Pink by Lizzo, which kind of do what you've been talking about, Shaheen, is definitely like the inclusivity, this like growing world of Barbie, how there's no one way to be a Barbie, right? Like we all like pink. Pink is within all of us, Yeah. And then Barbie World, which is like an update on obviously the classic like Barbie World Aqua song from the 90s, and that's Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice featuring Aqua. Yeah, I feel like that's a very varied soundtrack. Like they're doing the most with this one. They're trying to get us all hooked in,
They're appealing to all the kids, but also all the adults who are going to go take those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
1,000%. And like just bop after bop after bop. And like the Charlie XCX, it reminds me of, what's that song that she has that's like it's like a race car like driving song too. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've
listened to
picture
Charlie
the
XCX
video,
songs.
but I can't like remember the tune of the song.
It's
Yeah.
very similar to this one. Like they're both about like racing in a car and driving, and it's just like if I'm going out, I want the windows down and I want
Hmm.
those two songs from Charlie
Hmm.
XCX playing.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
vibe.
It's setting the vibes for sure. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And,
Um,
they all have their own like separate activations, which is like brilliant. Like
each of the
never before
songs.
have I seen, yeah, like it's like never before have I seen like a soundtrack so played out before the
Hmm.
movie comes out. Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
1 week we're talking about Billie Eilish. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, Billie
Mm.
Eilish is on here. And you've seen like the branding is like black, like it looks like it's written in Sharpie
Yeah.
with the B.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, what's this? And then you're like, oh, it's Billie Eilish. That makes sense. And then, the Nicki
Mm.
Minaj stuff had its own thing. Dua Lipa, and like they've been having all the artists go to like all of their, I don't know, opening events, which
Yeah.
is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
Yeah,
broad.
it's a return to I feel like soundtracks used to be huge. Like in the 90s, like movie soundtracks were like at the top of the Billboard
Right,
100
Yeah.
constantly. And we've
right.
sort of
Like
moved
Shrek.
like Shrek, yeah,
Yeah.
Shrek, but like Titanic, The Bodyguard, like one of Whitney Houston's biggest songs ever was for,
Uh-huh.
her remake of I Will Always
This
Love
is
You
yeah.
is like soundtracks were a bigger, and we saw
That's
like
true.
I mentioned Mission Impossible, and even the reboot of the Mission Impossible like brand, it's like Mission Impossible was a fucking knockoff of James Bond that just happened to be starring Tom Cruise, but they had a fantastic fucking theme song, and then they were
Hmm.
able to like reboot the entire franchise in the 2000s with like good directors and like better storylines and like crazy stunts, and it makes you forget like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is a Scientologist because they
Yeah.
like completely like,
Yeah.
and it's smart, because of the soundtrack. But yeah, I think this is a nice
You're pointing.
return to music being fucking essential to the marketing of
Yeah,
movies. It's not
And
like
before the
you're right.
movie, like
it creates
music
so
used
much
to be
buzz.
for
Yeah.
the movie within the movie, but now, like, reminded me like Hunger Games soundtrack when it came out was produced by Lord, and none of those
Hmm.
songs, like maybe one of the songs played at the
Right.
credits, but none of them were
Yeah.
in the movie. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect any of these to be in the movie because the soundtrack has a new purpose now.
Yeah, it has its own
Right.
personality, which
Its own
is
life.
to like create hype up to the
Yeah.
release of the movie. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
It's
Lord.
brilliant.
And
It
I
is
mean,
brilliant.
thank you for bringing up Lord and that soundtrack, because that soundtrack's good. That's a,
It's a good
Uh-huh.
album.
and
Yeah, I
Black
can
Panther.
consider it one of Lord's albums.
Black Panther's
Yeah.
soundtrack
Black Panther, yeah.
was overseen by Kendrick Lamar, and that's also an
Yes.
incredible soundtrack. But
Hmm.
to be fair, Black Panther was marketed towards the African American and Black communities, and music is essential, and you can't separate the two. So I actually really
Yeah.
like that Barbie is like looping back and being like, no, wait a second, like the way that we connect is through all of our senses. It's not just sights. It's like sound is really like transports you to a different place. I always say music is like a time machine. And so I think they've done like a really good job
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
From a personality standpoint, I mean, it's so varied. It's not like the sign of the twins. I mean, the soundtrack might be Leo because it's got its own revolving little world. You know what I mean? It's almost like it hasn't superseded the movie itself, but kind of like all these songs can stand on their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
Okay, the other two that I have on the list. So there is a Xbox Barbie controller. that's the brand partnership. It's a Barbie themed Xbox controller that they've released, and I pulled that one because I appreciate them trying to tap into another realm. Right, this is an explicit
Yeah.
gaming.
Oh my gosh,
not
it's
just
a whole console.
Oh, it's a whole console.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it's so
Oh.
cool.
Yeah.
It's a whole console that looks like a house, and you can choose different
Oh,
font
that's
or different
cooler.
like controllers that go with the house.
Oh.
I
That's
was
nuts.
never a gamer, but if that would have come out when I was like 10, I would have
Right.
begged
Yeah.
for it.
You would
I
have
love
wanted to
that.
play that for sure.
Yeah, it's like it's I don't know. I just think they're opening up this world, and like even what you were just saying, Shaheen, like that you can choose the like controllers to be parts of the dream house. I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes like that kind of blows my mind a little bit, right? Like
I
of me and
know.
Cassie being like, well, we're not really gamers, but it's like, well, because games don't have to be
But
the
this
way
would
that
look
they
really
made
cute.
them. Like we've
Yeah.
never
Right.
thought of like a cute, what if it was a cute controller, and what if it
Yeah.
was like
That's true.
aesthetically pleasing? Then it like
Right.
kind of changes the whole thing.
It was
It's not as
branded for
annoying to be
boys.
on the table.
It was branded for boys. Why
Yeah.
does it have to be a weird little black box in the like? I'll
Right.
tell you.
So
we have
masculine.
a Nintendo
Yeah,
Switch,
very masculine.
and it had like Jeremiah bought it off some kid during the pandemic, so it's got like a big Pokemon sticker on the side, and aesthetically, it's the ugliest fucking thing in my living room. It's like I get upset about it. That I have to look at it. And so
Have you
I'm
seen
like,
my selfies in my mirror, and in the background it's an Xbox in every single selfie?
oh my! I strategically
circle it
hide
and
my.
tag you
Please
next
do.
time.
I hide the Pokemon behind like pots, like behind like a pot with like a plant in it, because I'm like, I'm
Covering
not
it
eating
up.
this thing. Like, what is it? You never even play with it. Can you please put it away? Oh my god!
Yeah.
But okay, so then the Xbox is an Aquarius, right, Shaheen? Because it's
The Xbox and
technology.
Aquarius? It could be. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and it's like it's kind of humanitarian in the way that it could like connect all audiences to gaming, or like a totally an audience that has been basically blatantly ignored by. And I feel like I
yeah,
know that as a
Xbox
fact
is the
too,
whole
is like
world.
women make up like a huge percentage of gamers, and we don't even like think about that. Like I think there's like a big contingency
Yeah.
of female gamers, even though the entire audience is like not a welcoming experience for women.
Yeah. It's a whole other thing to be in chat rooms and trying to have conversations with people. There's a lot of problems with that,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
who knows?
that's
If we
cool.
could be more inclusive, then there wouldn't just be one demographic always saying profanities
Crazy
inside
things.
of these chat
Yeah.
rooms.
Like strength in numbers.
These Xbox games.
Do you think I would love to watch a Twitch of like somebody using the Barbie console. Like I would
bet
love
that's-
Yeah.
I would love
Yeah.
to I would be interested in seeing that.
You know
Like,
that they've got to have partnered deeper levels with that. YouTubers getting this
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah.
And then
they've got
and
it
then-
in the hands of the
I'm sure you
right
can find that
influencers.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, and then the last thing on our list, which would be my ideal way to interact with the Barbie brand. Like I'm not one of these girls who's gonna go to the Barbie like pop-ups. I'm not gonna like walk around with my friend and do like a photo shoot. That doesn't call to me. But the Airbnb Barbie dream house in Malibu sure does.
oh my
that's
god, this
where
looks so fun.
insane, right? Like
That
that's
looks
where
like a blast.
I would
Look
like to be
at
there
the pictures if you're listening to us
right now. Yeah, that just looks.
I can't believe this is a real building.
Right, this is a
Yeah.
real
Also,
thing.
though, isn't it Ken's house?
Is
yeah,
it?
I mean it says Ken in the.
No,
but
I
your
think
host
it's
will be
literally,
just
like,
Oh yeah,
Ken.
Ken's hosting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What does that
Yeah.
mean? Does that mean like
Which, yeah, that's why I'm like,
a
that's
man
kind of
who was
interesting.
hired to look like Ken is going to be like an actor is performing this role of like being your host, or is Ryan Gosling there? Like, be clear. Whoa,
Be clear.
loudness. Sorry.
I think that I think it's because, I mean, from a strategic standpoint, I think it's because Airbnb already had a Barbie dream house on Airbnb in seasons
Oh.
past. And so they had to like
That makes
make
sense.
it different and
Make
special
use
for
of
the
it.
Got it.
movie. Yeah. And then, but then the view of Ken is like, oh, then the rooms get to have a little bit of a revamp, right? Then the rooms get to look a
Yeah.
little bit different. There's like, I think rollerblading he's really into is like part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, from a boring marketing standpoint of things, they had to switch it up. They'd already,
Yeah,
put,
that makes sense.
put some eggs in that basket.
I
That
forgot
makes
that
sense.
Malibu was such a big part of Barbie's history. Like, she's
Yeah,
so
Malibu Barbie is
California.
like, that's it.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, Malibu is a big part of it. Yeah. But it's interesting, right? Amidst like the backdrop of the writer strike and the actor strike and all of these different things, like Malibu, because neither of you live in LA, but Malibu right now is going through a situation where there's like two people who own like these two rich people are fighting over this like strip of land in Malibu that they have illegally closed off to the public for years. Like it's because there's so many homes that were built along that strip, but like there needs to be public access to the beach, and they have been obstructing this for like 20 years. They basically like closed this like public access to the beach 20 years ago. So they're being like sued, and then being told that no, like the beach is for the people. Like you have to open the beach to the people. So I don't know. I think this is interesting amidst that backdrop of like even these like these perfect Barbie enclaves are like coming into not a reckoning, but a little bit of like an adjustment of it's for everybody, you know. Barbie is for everybody. The beach is for everybody. Like
Malibu's
like,
for everyone. Sorry,
Malibu's for everyone. Yeah.